Hey, it's Chris. I'm a full stack developer in Raleigh, North Carolina. Um, I do contract work. I'm a freelancer, basically. And we've been working on a series on Redwood. You can find it on YouTube on the playlist. I think it's linked below. Also streaming on Twitch. Chris Ellis. What's it called? Chris Ellis Dev um, is what it's called. Now this is weird. There we go. So I need to on the streaming. This is how the sausage is made. You tweet out what you're doing, and maybe people check it out. So what we are working on is a grocery application that allows you to save what you need to go grocery shopping for. And we're building it in Redwood JS. So tacos. So tacos isn't in the database. Let's enter it. Okay, it's not liking it. So part of what we've been working on is logging in. We've got these two components here. So you log in, and challenge I was finding was I needed to get, this uses auth 0. I needed to get the key, or I need to get the email of the person logging in. Well, I figured it out. You have to send it over from auth 0. So within your auth 0 configuration, they have this concept of rules, and when you go to the rules, you can create a rule. And this isn't the optimal solution. The optimal solution is that you don't put stuff in the token coming back. But they have this ability to add email to the access token, and that's a template. So off that template, I've got what I did with my rule. Where's my rules? Oh, it's right there. So it gets the user. You have to namespace it so there's no conflicts with other applications. And then I think the namespace has to be in the form of a URL. I tried using just a string and it didn't like that. Didn't send it over. But this sends the email over. So when the user logs in, see, log back out and I'll show you how it shows up. So refresh, we're not logged in. So log in. It sends you over to whatever the name of the site is that you've configured on auth 0. And in this token, is that token? Leave audio library running. In let's copy that and see if it's in this one. There's a JWT.io. There's a token parser. Something like that. Did we not get everything? Restart the server. Not a fan of the song. It's much more my style. Okay, apparently it only exposes the token on login. I don't know how you guys feel about watching or using Google on those logins like that. I am not a big fan. Okay, so buried in here is this ID token. Okay. It's hard to grab. So if anybody knows of any packages that grab this stuff a lot easier, so it's this ID token that we want. There it is right there. So it looks like JWT.io only interpreted that first part of the token. This is so hard to grab. Well, anyways, it's buried in this access token, or in this ID token. And then that gets on index, I believe, using the auth0 client from this auth0 auth spa.js. It then adds this to the auth provider. So in Flip React component DevTools, why is this empty? You go to the auth provider and then you can see what's being provided. So this is where I'm setting current user. This is the user metadata, and like you even have access to the gravatar, get my email that I verified, all that sort of stuff. So that's what allows us to then go to the dashboard. And now what I'm working on is, since I originally did this application in Netlify auth, and I just yanked it out. I didn't actually change anything yet. I was just trying to get log in, log out working. So now what we need to do is we need to be able to add items. So we're gonna add some Southern Comfort. Shout out Brad. I can spell. Comfort. Oh my god, I can't spell. I don't know what it was, but that was just looking odd to me. And now we're getting a GraphQL error. Find one where it doesn't like my argument. So I was messing with this earlier. Find where. Uncaught GraphQL on line 50. Okay. So my where clause, or my search was missing where clause. I'll do something about the stream real quick. Give me 1 second. Change the name of it. I definitely tweeted, didn't I? Oops, I already said that. Why is it not showing then? Okay. All right, so we're back up. Not really sure why Twitter's messing with us. Why do they mess with anybody? Real question. Okay, so let's see if that works now. Line 92. Item. All right. Read the effing error message. Okay. Uncaught, GraphQL, uncategorized. Category spelled correctly. What do you mean unknown where? Okay, let's look at the SDL on that. The item. So the error message says category where unique input. Okay, wrong SDL. That's one of the underlying ones. That's not what we're looking for. Maybe we won't be able to. I think we'll have to do this as a find of many instead of a find one. Refresh. So here's where we were. So Redwood has a great discourse forum. So here's where we were talking about the best way to do this. And David Threeson pointed out that this is possible, but it's not the best way to do this. And then he also linked up a video concerning this with Auth0 set up and how to add these rules in. But you can also pass other stuff in. They have a great discourse forum. It's pretty active for such a new thing. So get this open. All right. Southern Comfort's too long to type, so we're gonna add donuts. Uh-oh. So I accidentally seeded twice. Okay, it's not so bad. I'll fix that later. We're gonna select the first item. So await that, uncategorized. I'm just going to throw the array, first item in the array on the end. So we've got one object coming back. If you've just joined, you can say hello. I am very friendly to talk to. Can I read property of ID? Let's see what this uncategorized yields, because I haven't. This is Redwood JS if you've never seen it before. That should be undefined. Okay. Why is this coming back? Did I spell this correctly? Uncategorized, uncategorized. Maybe it's too soon to throw the object on there. Let's. So what I'm doing is I had switched the app from Netlify Auth to this and to Auth 0, and I'm having to go through and fix some things on how I create items for the database. So line 66. Okay, so it's not going to find... Why is it not printing that, though? Should be printing some categorized first. Fan of that sound. Category ID. Alright, we just really need the category ID. And we'll just yield template literal. All right. How are you doing today? It's not even hitting the console log. 84 category name. Okay, so it's getting the right ID. Oh. Alright, change it again. So, let's not get the ID, we'll just get the first object. So really I kind of want this categorized. So I can mutate it with let. It's not very elegant. Okay, we're just gonna cheat. Don't need this anymore. Uncat .id. Uncat.name. Uncat.id. That should be it for this one. We'll need to do something similar for stuff that's already in the database. Need some limes. Well, it did add limes. And won't let you add the same item. Lemons. There we go. We got lemons added now. Why is limes not showing up? Okay. Let's take it off of this grocery list. And let's add lemons again. Okay, that worked. Let's categorize it. Fruit. Okay, so we need to get rid of those other items in the database. So one thing that Redwood provides is scaffolding. I think I scaffolded that out. We get out of API. Let's see. Be in pages and new category. Let's head to the router because I don't have it linked in the categories. So /categories should show their scaffold. So look, here we go. There are 42 or 43 categories, and everything else after that is duplicated. And luckily they're in alphabetical. That seems pretty tedious, doesn't it? So we're gonna cheat again. So I like to do that. So go to the API Prisma. We're gonna delete the database. And delete the migrations. Yarn Redwood DB save. They have a pretty good CLI for doing common activities. So on this uses Prisma under the surface, so it will create tables based off of that, and then we need to migrate it. So DB up. And yarn Redwood DB seed. Only seed it one time, Chris. So now we need to run it on yarn Redwood DB or yarn Redwood dev. I think it's going to need to create a user object again because we deleted the user out of the database. So log in, go to the dashboard. Okay, so there's nothing in here. Remember we added lemons. Lemons are no longer in here again. We press Control Enter right there. They're added to uncategorized. And we can categorize them as fruit and veg. And I am willing to take suggestions. I'm going to put some things in, but if you have any ideas, please put them in. And bread. Okay, so that's in beer. That's in spirits. Frozen. Frozen. Meat. Bread. Alright, so we need to add our stores. We don't have any stores in here. So let's see. We'll add Target. And we'll add Costco. Add Harris Teeter. So Harris Teeter is definitely laid out differently than the other two, because that's a proper grocery store. So fruit and veg is always at the front of a proper grocery store. So we'll save that. We've reorganized the way that items will show up. So now when we go shopping, at Harris Teeter, lemons will show at first, but at Target, the way I've currently got it set up, beer will show up first. So I think we've gotten back to square one with the app. It's working. Let's actually take some things out. Make sure that when we add them back. Okay, yeah, Southern Comfort added, went back in. So, I think that we're back to a good point. Let's find this require auth and stop that. Printing. But other than that, we're back to a good point, so that means we can continue working on the application. If you have any questions about the app, you know, I'm free. I'm streaming right now. You can ask them. So they responded more on this. So here's the GraphQL for that. Now there should only be 42, 43 items. So we're good on that. See, that means we can go back to what we were doing before. Was the whole reason we were trying to fix the auth was we were trying to upload to Vercel. And with Vercel, we need to fix auth. Requires auth. We have to, it does continuous deployment. And with continuous deployment, every time you commit to the branch on GitHub or whichever provider you choose, it will check and so let's see if updated just now, production. Is it already? Okay, so it's building right now. So it, I just did that commit, fix require auth. It's building right now, waiting for build to finish. I don't know if you can watch. It's not like Netlify. You can't watch the expose the console for it. But if you want to see the app, it's grocery.vercel.app. Here, I'll leave that on the screen so you can see it. Right there. Of course, it's building right now, so actually, so what they do is they put these containers up, so it's building on this one, but then it's building into a different container. So it's actually building at that one, which means that you can go visit that one, which shouldn't show anything because it's process. But yeah, that just shows up with. Oh, it does show up with this. But we're just waiting for this to build. So, dang, actually, I want to see the view build logs. Sometimes their app does this. It's just weird. Okay, so it says that it's ready. Let's check it. You can log in. Undefined auth scope, open profile ID. Same on that. All right, so now we got some deployment errors. That's gonna be fun. Well, what you can do. Oh, this is so slow. So since the one that I just uploaded is not working, I can roll this back to the previous one. Really handy. Now that one's still up. It's just as it gets less and less traffic, it just doesn't get booted up on their computers. So the issue is over here. Plus, we don't want to duplicate those buttons. This is the landing layout. So we got this user auth tools, which is actually the link. So we'll delete that. Just have log out. Make sure logging in works again. All right. So let's look at the error over here. Define scope. Find server. So it looks like it's getting a string here. Let's look at how that is determined. So what do we call it? User auth tools. So we need to look at Redwood use auth. This is about passing that information from auth0. Let's look for Redwood with that name because I've seen that before. This is one of the pulls to the Redwood. So it looks like it's not getting the I wonder, okay, so they used the button component. Let's try doing that and seeing if it's globally available. Okay, so yeah, it's not globally available. So that's from their form package. Thought it was. Just gonna keep it as the actual button. Let's look at this in Redwood in component library. Okay. So log in from use auth. Well, all this stuff is combined on the index.js. Oh, I think I know what it is. We don't have any environment variables set on Vercel, so we need to set those settings. Now we're set waiting. I don't understand why this is happening on Vercel. Maybe they got so popular because they have Redwood integration now that their just servers can't handle it. Maybe that's the possibility. Have either of you used Redwood before? Pretty intense. Let me link some stuff to you. GitHub. That's the repository. If you wanted to download it and play around with it. I don't like this song. This is classified as an angry mood. Alright, we're gonna try this again. We're gonna start over. We listen to some of these. Is it up yet? No. Hell. Environment variables. There we go. Alright, so we need... Hold on, let me look at my environment variables real quick. I can share them. I can't really share them, but I'm gonna show you what I need. Okay. So the variables are auth0 domain, auth0 client underscore ID, auth0 redirect URI, and auth0 audience. So in this case, the redirect URI is going to be different. I'm going to copy these over real quick. So for my daughters, I'll let you all look at this. And hero client. Right. So we're back. Last one that I need to put over. Actually, I think it's probably safe, but I'm not sure. Is this auth0 URI, and I believe that is going to be that. All right, so let's revisit. Define cannot be reached. Is there a way to rebuild? No, we don't want to delete it. That's going to production. Gotta wait for that to build again. So let's log in. And let's also try to think about what the next sort of steps. So, well, it'd be nice if we had that navigate once it's logged in. So await login app state target URL. So actually, this is a setting that we've already got defined, but I probably have it defined, you know, at the 0 to the wrong place that I wanted to go. A nice dark website. In case you're wondering, this song is called Two Little Bums. Activity, 37 logins. Just added it less than 24 hours ago. Okay, so that's it. So quick start, add-ons. So there's settings down here at the bottom. Loud callback URLs. So we need to make sure this URL is allowed to do callbacks. Is it comma delimited, comma separating them? So, thought allow login unit callback URLs. Okay, so here's where we're talking about the return to. And that's defined here. Index. No. Redirect URI, so that's in the environment. Okay, so we don't want to go back to that. We want to go to plan. So let's control and we'll restart so the environment's up to date. Means you've already seen it. So the redirect URI. That is going to be @/plan. Okay, we're running again. Okay, so it doesn't like callback URL mismatch. So I broke it. I don't know if the trailing slash matters. Don't know if the space matters. Redirect URI is not in the list. Plan. So what that probably means is we want something like that. So this is funky dance and electric music, in case you're wondering. Okay, let's close down, get it working locally first, and then callback URLs. Fresh. Well, let's put it in there explicitly. This might not work on logout. Let's work on login first, and then we'll work on logout. I don't know how quickly that updates. Oh, okay, so that maybe that's got us logged in. So that seems less unhappy. All right. Log out. All right, so that works now. So the configuration is you have to be explicit with the route that you're logging out on. So we have anything? Yeah, so we have some stuff that we can. What was that? Remove extra button. Okay, so are our environment variables right? Callback URI. I don't even remember what I put in there. Domain should be right. How do you force check? So we're gonna get Vercel. It used to be Zeit. Now it's changed. Specified token is not valid. That's the same. Let's see, GitHub. Wait a second. Of course. So I committed it, but I didn't submit it. So there's a rule of software development. Computers just do what you described. You just don't always describe it well. All right, so we're building right now. How didn't this work? Just sign in. So this is Redwood, or this is Tailwind. Heard of that. Notice this SVG is not showing correctly. Nice if you could have alerts from Vercel if you're listening. But hey, having to keep, like, it'd be nice to have an alert come from when this switches state. Alright, let's look at this SVG. Find out why it's not scaling right. Alright, you guys are going to be able to see inside of Tailwind UI. This is what it should look like. So here's the pattern. Relative BG overflow hidden. Okay, it's ready. Still getting an undefined authorized scope. Okay, can't mess with that other bit for now. We need to sort out this. So it's getting log out from use auth. Sorry, Adam. If you follow me on Twitter, I did tweet it out. I don't really know of another way for you to get those alerts right away. So we figured out how to log in on the dev. So this is the list. I actually had to do another nuclear option with it where I deleted everything. But now, where the whole reason that we were doing that is because we switched over to Vercel for the hosting, and now I'm trying to sort out how to do this login on Vercel, and what it's getting is this undefined authorized route. So what I think is happening is it's supposed to be pulling in this auth domain right here to send that off, but I'm not sure. Just sort of got into the stage where I can test on the on that end of it. There's nothing from require auth. Index. Guess what we can do is we can log auth 0 and see what is in there. It's got this domain URL. Redirect UI. So it's got all these things that are coming from the environment. And passing those to the auth provider. So what's not happening is this isn't happening in Vercel. Got these environment variables set. Song is strange. So, does anybody have any thoughts or questions? Because they don't know which way I'm going to go forwards with this. Figure out the Netlify identity because we're not using Netlify anymore. Don't need to init it because we're not using it. The redirect URI. And that should be filling in. What I could do is I could print these on deploy. and look at them. So const auth object equals some stringify auth object. Alright, let's see what that looks like on client. Expect this to be, where did I put that in? On the landing layout. I'm actually going to put it on the landing layout. I'm going to put it on the application layout. Need that anymore either. Hey Pete, yeah, it's a pretty cool project. So I've got the auth. Are you Pete from Redwood? I've got the application running on local, but now I'm trying to troubleshoot environment variables on Vercel. I think that's what's causing the issue. So I'm going to be a bit bad and print out my auth object on the site. Oh yeah, I've seen you in Level Up Tutorials Discord as well. So have you seen Redwood before? Yeah, Adam, you're right. It means it's not defined, but it is defined because it's showing up in this. So now you see these are showing up. Awful scaling. These are showing up there. Okay. It's definitely showing up with these objects. Yeah, so it's GraphQL. It is React. It's a like you can host it on Netlify and Vercel, like a single page app, and uses Prisma as a database connector and Postgres on this online, but then it uses a different database locally. So let me I'm gonna leave this in there. So what I'm trying to troubleshoot is I can log in on the client. Oh, actually, no, I need to leave that in there because the whole point was to put this up to Vercel so I could see what whether those are defined, Adam. So that's what I was doing. I was trying to check whether those are defined on the server, and I don't have a way to access. So once you set these, I can't pull these up. The only thing that I can do is delete them, and Vercel has no access to them. So I'm just trying to troubleshoot at the moment. Troubleshoot. A terrible commit. It doesn't mean anything. But yeah, it's having a two-layer conversation. So Pete, this is it's pretty cool platform. It if you've done any of Scott's React courses, you'll be like right at home with it. And then I'm also using Tailwind for the UI, and also Tailwind UI. And Adam and Pete, Auth0 provides. I'm not sure if you noticed my picture came up. Well, that is available in component show up. So that's available right here in user metadata. So I think like what I'm thinking of doing is having this. You can't see it with it scaled like this, but there's a might see it before this builds. Look at a previous deploy. Oh, I can't log in. So when you log in, there's like a user image. So it'd be cool if I could put that up there, basically. And I can get that from the provider. So let's check in on this deploy. This is the latest one with, so it is still building right now. This is the latest one with the JSON of the user objects in there. So let's see what comes back. Oh, okay. So I had to put it in the user layout, or in the landing layout, because I'm not able to get back to the application layout. We'll get there. Programming is like wayfinding. You don't have a map, you're just sort of making your way. All right, we gotta watch for another build. So if I were to get that context, how can I pull that context into the application layout? Is that person's avatar is right here. I think there's a hook for that. It's called use context. So we're going to do something like that. And so Wes, Boss, and Scott Talinsky just did a big episode on context. Well, not on context, but on handling state. That was pretty cool. So, what's the name of this context? Or how do I access the auth provider? This context is not part of React. Yeah, dude, I might have to listen to it again. Why is use context not coming in? Okay, let's look at how they provided the context. So index. Means we need to go to auth provider. That's gonna. Let's check on this. Okay, looks like we're back up. And we're only getting this cache. Which is not right. That's why it's undefined, Adam. So that's why when I click on this, it's undefined, because it's not actually getting these environment variables. So let's look at where we're calling them. Process.environment. I'm gonna pause on this use context for a while, because I shouldn't probably be doing 2 tracks of things. Take care, Adam. I've got to leave for work soon anyways. Thanks for checking in. All right. So we need to Vercel environment variables. Because what's happening is these environment variables aren't coming down where we need them. Yeah, I did all that. Why isn't it showing up? I've added these. Why isn't it? Well, here's something interesting. I could try just pulling them down and seeing what's up there. Let's give that a try. Code. Projects. CD grocery list. specified token is not valid. Pete, what do you do? Let's cheer these things. Well, so what we're trying to do is get the environment variables set and make sure that they're what, because they're not showing up. All we've got is this local storage, which that's not, wait a second, that's not right. No, that's right, because that's a setting that sets the cache for the JavaScript web token on the local storage of the device. I think. Okay, only showing that. Wonder if there's I actually have to go soon. Well, dude, it's cool that you're able to do freelancing. That's what I'm trying to get into. I have one big client at the moment. So, and it's also good that you've got something that you're able to, do that. Yeah, I love development. It's pretty cool. Like, infinite problem solving. You're it's like you're going at full speed into a brick wall, and then you figure the problem out, and then you go full speed and you're into another brick wall. Um, um, so let's look Vercel CLI commands. So I'm wondering if there's like a flag that I can put on this environment variable. That lets me Vercel into the it does have those, so why aren't they being pulled into the application? Ooh, so what are the corollaries between building stuff in real life? Have you found any things that like help from like real life that you're able to apply for development? So like, you know, scaffolding out stuff first, or um, ways that you double check things? Because that's pretty interesting. Um, that you built physical things first, and then now you're still building stuff. It's just, you know, informational things, collection, like informational things. Cool. And then maybe I can do this pull, and then we'll call it production. Okay, so we've created a production file. I don't want to commit it. Nothing in it. Well, that's useful. Have you used Vercel much? Okay, the other way around this is I'm going to quickly rename this, but then local. So local is what we need to rename, and then so I think this is the issue. Hey Todd, what's going on? Oh, so how about estimating? You know, oh yeah, I can do that in 2 hours. How does that work for your estimating? Um, so I actually have to be leaving for work soon, so I'm not actually doing well because I'd rather be doing this than going to work. I work night shift as a pharmacist, actually. um, but I've been trying to switch careers into freelancing. I think what they say is you should just keep upping your rate until you start getting no's. And there's two parts to that. It first part is perceived value is a lot of times the proxy that the business owner has, and you know you can also cut scope projects as well that way. Oh yeah, lots of caffeine for me. I've actually got some cold brew ready for me. But so basically, what I did in this video is we've got the application. I'll show you both real quick, where you can add items to a grocery list. So we're gonna add some Hopium IPA, and then we categorize it. That's beer. And then when you go grocery shopping, at Target, beer is going to be first, but at Costco, well, it's going to be first at Costco. But at Harris Teeter, well, you know what? At Harris Teeter, apples are going to be first. But those you need to categorize as fruit. So, if you notice, Hopium's first up there, but fruit is first right there. Oh yeah, and then COVID's like sort of like messed everything up. If you listen to Double Your Freelancing, he says you should go to people like meetups and Chamber of Commerce meetings and all this sort of stuff. And the whole time I'm listening to that, I'm like, can't. It's closed. You didn't know this when you were making this 5 years ago, but it's closed today. So, um, that's COVID for you. So, so the second half to that, Todd, is we've got it working on the client. I can log in and log out on the client using Auth0. And now I'm trying to work on deploying it to Vercel, which was previously Zeit. And it appears I'm not getting, so when I do the login here, it comes up with undefined. And where this is defined is in the environment variables. So even though it shows these variables right here in the interface for Vercel, they're not coming down to my build. So that's what I'm going to need to work out in the next one. Anyways, this is Chris. I'm a freelance developer in Raleigh, North Carolina. If you have any questions, you can shoot them in the chat. You can also reach out to me at slingingdivs on Twitter. You can email me. I think my email's been in here a bunch, but there's contact information at the bottom of the Twitch stream. I've got my social on there and my website. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Pete and Todd, you can reach out to me on Discord if you're on Scott Talinsky's Discord channel. Level Up Tutorials, check that out. Anyways, have a good night, and I will be up till 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, so y'all have a good day.